Have you seen the Benazir Bhutto interview? Okay. All right. Well, she said he was assassinated in 2001.
Benazir Bhutto, who was recently assassinated, went on the BBC and said that Osama bin Laden had been assassinated. Now, what's weird is that she said he was assassinated by the same guy that made that $100,000 wire transfer we went over. Omar Saeed Sheikh, the one that was working with the head of the Pakistani ISI and had heavy intelligence ties. Omar Saeed Sheikh had about a dozen different names. He was also responsible for the murder of Daniel Pearl, the journalist that tried to track funding of Middle Eastern terrorists. He went overseas, he probably got too close to the fact that the CIA was funneling money in through the ISI, and he cut his head off. All right, and that's the guy who supposedly killed bin Laden, according to Bhutto. Total media blackout when she said that, and she was literally assassinated a month and a half later. Yeah. All right, guys. Oh, you want more questions?
Okay, the flight paths of the two World Trade Center jets both crossed over Stewart International Airport. And, okay, a member of the Project for a New American Century, Dov Zakheim, was reported to be the comptroller at the Pentagon overseeing the missing trillions. And I read a report that he had bought a bunch of tanker jets, okay? Now, I talked to a person that said that they saw the second impact there in person, and that they said they thought it was a military-style looking jet without windows on the side. And so I was wondering, do you think they switched them to Stewart International Airport as per the Northwoods doctrine?
Well, my uncle actually worked at Stewart International Airport, one of the higher, he was like the CFO. And I don't know that. I've actually brought these kind of things up with him. He's more of an official line tower kind of guy, but he hasn't seen my movies either. You know, I just say this about the plane impacts, because we can sit here and debate all day with him. The second plane is supposed to be a United Airlines plane. I fly a lot. I fly around the country all the time. I take about, I don't know, 20 trips a year. I fly United a bunch, okay? United planes have two big blue engines and a big blue underside. The plane that hit the World Trade Center has two gray engines and a big gray underside, okay? To me, it's not even close. The only thing that it has as the marking of the UA plane is the painted up UA on the tail section. You can make that out in some of the videos. But again, the bottom should be blue. And I like to point to the Northwoods document that we have in the second edition. In 1962, a plan went all the way up through the Joint Chiefs of Staff into the President's office, and it was actually Nix there. But they were going to carry out terror attacks in this country and try to blame them on Cuba. And one of them was they were going to paint up a commercial airliner to look like a commercial airliner. They were going to say a bunch of students had gotten on it. In fact, it was going to be FBI agents and other intelligence officers. They were going to switch that with this other plane they had painted up and then send up another drone that they had dressed up like a Russian MiG. Now they were going to shoot that plane down with all the quote-unquote students in it and let the Russian MiG be seen by other pilots that were on a training mission. So the other pilots were on this war game and they would fly by all the wreckage and what had actually happened, and they would have thought that attack actually happened. So through the war games, they would have had an actual attack. I encourage everybody to read those documents because it talks about sniper attacks in Florida, us using friendly Cubans to attack military bases. It's a very telling document, and that document, even though it didn't even go into effect, I want to show you how long they keep these things secret. That document wasn't even played out, okay? It didn't even go through. Well, that document's from 1962. You know when it came out? 2000. In 2000, James Bamford got it from the National Archives. So that thing was literally classified for almost 40 years, and the attack didn't even happen. Can you imagine how long the actual papers on 9/11 are going to be classified for? And that's if you and I let it. I mean, in my upcoming movie, I have Bob Graham, who headed up the congressional attack, saying that there were foreign governments involved in 9/11, not just in the funding and the planning, but other aspects, not just one government, but foreign governments, and that it would actually be classified for 20 to 30 years. Well, if that's the case, and that investigation took place in 2002, why did we even have the 9/11 Commission? It makes no sense. All right, guys, I gotta kick it in, but I thank everybody for coming out and listening.